Since the third season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa Giudice and her brother Joe Gorga have been embroiled in a bitter dispute that is unlikely to be resolved in the near future. In an episode of the Undressed podcast, Teresa Judd berated her only sibling for opting to support her adversary during the final seasons of the Bravo program rather than defending his blood. Giudice, who was the most prominent figure on the program, had become acclimated to spend time in the hot seat. The OG reality star has engaged in numerous disputes with her castmates over the course of her tenure on the show, including enemies, friends, and even friends who have since become adversaries. Besides the conflict with her brother Gorga, Judy's most combustible encounters were with Margaret Joseph. Throughout Joseph's inaugural season in 2017, the two women was in constant contact. Nevertheless, the relationship began to deteriorate as a result of the rise in tension regarding loyalty and distrust in subsequent seasons. Giudice and Josephs were situated on opposing sides of the group after Giudice overflowed a table of food and beverages onto her co-star during one dispute. The situation became so incendiary that they were obliged to separate during her appearance on the Undressed podcast. Giudice disclosed her disagreement with Josephs and disclosed the extent of her disdain for the 57-year-old. Giudice's animosity toward Josephs was also the primary emphasis of the 12th and 13th seasons of Real Housewives of New Jersey. The cast was divided after Josephs disclosed rumors regarding Judy's then fiancé Louis Rillis to the rest of the group. In contrast to his sister Gorga and his wife Melissa Gorga, preferred to support Joseph's my sibling selected Margaret over his own sister. Giudice disclosed that is essentially the crux of the matter, because Margaret is aware of the locations of all the bodies, including the deceased. They will not oppose her. Giudice has previously asserted that her Real Housewives of New Jersey colleague possessed a wealth of information regarding their cast members. Joseph's comment is no exception. In a heated argument during season 12, Giudice and Josephs were at odds over the same matter. Giudice claimed that Josephs had disclosed confidential information regarding her companion to the media while the altercation was underway. She stated, "You are acquainted with everyone. She is acquainted with all individuals. Bravo's most popular program has consistently highlighted Judy's troubled relationships with her siblings. Conversely, the triumvirate of reality personalities resolved to discontinue their ongoing dispute following years of fluctuating fortunes." In a recent interview, VI Judy described the separation between her and her family as permanent before conceding that they would probably never reconcile. In the event that you are not already aware, the Judy and Gorga families' dispute purportedly commenced when the latter allegedly entered the series without their sister's knowledge. According to Judy, she never agreed to participate in a television program with her family. "By my family, I was ambushed and bombarded. I was deeply disheartened as I felt as though my aspirations had been shattered." Giudice later disclosed that the preceding circumstance facilitated her instruction of her daughters to prioritize one another. During her appearance on Undressed, she articulated, "I am like you, always stick with your blood no matter what. I would advise you to avoid allowing your spouse to interfere with your relationship with your sister." On an episode of Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live in 2024, Josephs also discussed the status of her relationship with Giudice. While discussing the conflict within the group, Josephs informed the executive producer of Real Housewives that she would have been content to move on with Judy, as she had already redeemed her numerous times. Nevertheless, the Bravo OG's dispute in their final season together was excessive, resulting in a friendship that was simply too much for Josephs to manage.